Chapter 25, Dark Days. Lynn and I are not the only ones who are affected by Vic's decisions. People mostly just shake their heads and give you a look of impotent pity. But my father, Grandpa Leo, fancies himself as a bit of a philosopher and adept at persuasion. He starts a campaign to return Vic to sanity. Grandpa Leo sends Vic 2 books about Jesus, adding notes in the margin and inserting pages of elaboration. In the book, Who Was Jesus?, Grandpa corrected the title, changing was to is, and inscribed, "Please return this to me after you've analyzed it. You will notice similarities in the writings about Krishna. One finds it almost impossible to be logical in these types of writing. Does it sound familiar? Love, Grandpa." In the book, The Greatest Story Ever Told, he wrote inside the back cover, "Dear grandson, someday I hope to finish my painting of Jesus on the cross. Your face will be the model through which the agony of mankind will shine in horror." This booklet is 25 years old. These are your roots. I hope and pray that you will remember from time to time to renew this love. Leo. A straightforward attempt to prove that Christianity trumps Hinduism at every turn. Valiant but fruitless. Being rebuffed in attempts to convince Vic, Grandpa Leo turns to me and tries to convince me that Vic has been overcome by a cult and that we should enlist help to deprogram him. This notion disturbed me and should not be undertaken. I made that clear to my dad in a letter, to which he responded, "To my dearest son Victor, I was stunned by your reaction to my last letter to my grandson. So negative, made without reading the enclosed letter. I received very similar treatment from my wife. Perhaps you cannot tell me in person, yet you can put it in writing. You know, you may be basing our lifelong relationship on half-truths or even lies. What is it that I have done which merits your demeanor? In my memory banks I searched and searched, yet rarely have I found the heading, Dear Father or Dear Dad. Why? I must know, and soon. My soul lies trapped in a morass of words, just words. Love, Dad." I'm certain that Hinduism is not a cult, but have some doubts about the practices of ISKCON, which controls all aspects of how Vic experiences Hinduism. I am most concerned about the way a devotee is assigned to a single guru who controls all aspects of the devotee's journey into Hinduism. A lot of control ceded to an individual of, to me, unproven character. I never saw a concrete example of abuse of power and was never able to formulate my opinions coherently. Of course, Linda and I never considered moving forward with deprogramming, despite our deep concerns for Vic's well-being. Besides, who knew what fresh misery would be unleashed by such an attempt if it were unsuccessful? While things weren't so great, they also weren't impossible. Then there was Goody. Goody was our neighbor, a retired jeweler from Ohio, consuming the golf courses of San Diego. He and his wife Annette were very nice people. We even sat Seder with their family on occasion, patiently waiting for Elijah. Our neighborhood has group mailboxes, and one day when both Goody and I were receiving our bills, he asked about Vic. He listened patiently. He pinched his chin between thumb and forefinger, glancing towards his house occasionally. Then he looked me straight in the eye and said, "Cut him off." "What?" I said. "Cut him off. No inheritance, no more handouts. That'll bring him around." Saying I'll give it due consideration, I thank him for his advice and scurry back to the house. I tell Linda about the encounter and question the source of the idea. Just think about it. Goody is certain that Bart Simpson is destroying the American family. Should we even really consider his advice? Linda immediately agrees, but points out that without our financial support, Vic would be forced to make tougher decisions.